Hey guys, today I have for you 100 UK traffic signs. So let's get started. Sign number 1. This is a blue rectangular sign. And the sign means 10 miles to the next motorway service area. You will find this sign after a junction, and the sign shows the distance that you have to travel to reach the next services. Next services meaning a petrol station, a place to eat, a restaurant, maybe a hotel or some place to sleep as well. And let's move on to our next sign, which is this. Again, we've got another rectangular sign, and this one is white in color. And the sign means 100 yards to a junction ahead, which is controlled by a stop sign. And the sign indicates that the drivers are approaching a junction controlled by a stop sign and is 100 yards ahead. Next sign. This is another rectangular sign, and it's green in color. The sign means 100 yards to a roundabout or the next point at which traffic may leave a non-primary route. This sign is a countdown marker on the approach to a roundabout or an exit from a non-primary route. There may be 3 signs spaced at equal intervals along the approach. This sign, which has one white bar, indicates that it is 100 yards away. And our next sign is this. This one is very similar to our previous sign, but this is blue in color and it has a white bar. The sign means 100 yards to a roundabout or the next point at which traffic may leave a route. This countdown marker will be placed to the side of the motorway and shows that you are 100 yards from the start of a deceleration lane. Sign number 5 is the following. Very similar to the previous one. It's also blue in color and with a white bar. However, this bar is in the opposite direction of the previous sign. And this sign indicates 100 yards to a roundabout or the next point at which traffic may leave a route. These countdown markers are found at the exit from motorway. And at approaches to concealed level crossings, white backed markers with red bars may be used. Even though this will be placed at equal distances, the bars do not represent 100-yard intervals, so please don't confuse them. The ones which you will find at the crossings, remember that they that they are white in color and they have a red bar. Next sign. And this is another rectangular green sign with a white bar. And the sign means 100 yards to a roundabout or the next point at which traffic may leave a primary route. This is a countdown marker on the approach to a roundabout or to an exit from a primary route. There may be 3 signs spaced at equal intervals along the approach. This one, which has one white bar, only indicates that the approach is 100 yards away. And this is our next sign. Again, is rectangular in shape and it's green in color, but this sign has two white bars. And this sign means 200 yards to a roundabout or the next point at which traffic may leave a non-primary route. And again, this is also a countdown marker on the approach to a roundabout or an exit from a non-primary route. There may be three signs spaced at equal intervals along the approach. This sign in particular with two white bars, sorry for the error in the text on your screen. So this one with two white bars indicates that the approach is 200 yards away. So maybe it's easier for you to remember one bar means 100 yards. Two bars mean 200 yards. And our next sign is this. This is another rectangular sign, blue in color, and this one has two white bars, which means 200 yards to a roundabout or the next point at which traffic may leave a route. This countdown marker will be placed to the side of the motorway and show that you are 200 yards from the start of a deceleration lane. And this sign is very similar to our previous signs, but if you pay attention, the bars, they are in the opposite direction. This sign means 200 yards to a roundabout or the next point at which traffic may leave a route. You will find this countdown marker at an exit from the motorway. Each bar represents 100 yards to the exit. So this particular sign is 200 yards to the exit. And our sign number 10 is the following. We have another rectangular sign. This time it's green in colors with two white bars in the opposite direction than our previous sign. And this sign means 200 yards to a roundabout or the next point at which traffic may leave a primary route. This is a countdown marker again, and it's found on the approach to a roundabout or to an exit from a primary route. And the primary route would be a motorway. There may be three of these signs placed at equal intervals along the approach. This particular sign with two white bars indicates that the approach is 200 yards away. And our next sign is this. This is a very interesting sign. I'm not sure that I've come across this particular sign in my travels, if you will. But anyway, this is another rectangular sign and it's blue in color. And the sign means 200 yards to escape lane ahead for vehicles unable to stop on a steep hill. So those vehicles unable to stop on a hill are instructed of the direction to take if they need to use an escape lane to stop on a steep hill, which is located 200 yards in front. This may happen because of brake failure, but escape lanes are designed to slow out of control vehicles down. So it's basically kind of like an emergency lane, if you will, or if you think that you can remember it better this way. Think about escape like you have to get away from something, right? Okay, next sign is this. Very similar to our previous sign. Again, it's rectangular in shape and blue in color, but please pay attention because there is a slight difference here. So this particular sign means 200 yards to escape lane to the left for vehicles unable to stop on a steep hill. Vehicles unable to stop on the hill are instructed to use the left turn that is 200 yards ahead if they need to use an escape lane to stop on a steep hill. This may happen, like I mentioned, with our previous signs because of a brake failure, but escape lanes, they are generally designed to slow down vehicles which are out of control. And our next sign is this. Another rectangular sign, green in color, and this time you have 3 white bars on it. This particular sign means 300 yards to a roundabout or the next point at which traffic may leave a non-primary route. This is another countdown marker on the approach to a roundabout or an exit from a non-primary route. There may be 3 signs spaced at equal intervals along the approach. This sign in particular, with the 3 white bars, indicates that the approach is 300 yards away. So basically, when you have these 3 signs, you will first have the 300 yards, then the 200 yards, then the 100 yards. And moving on to our next sign, which is this, very similar to the previous one, however this one is blue in color. And this one means 300 yards to a roundabout or the next point at which traffic may leave a route. This countdown marker will be placed to the side of the motorway and show that you are 300 yards from the start of a deceleration lane. And our sign number 15 is this one. Again, very similar to the previous sign because it's blue in color. However, if you pay closer attention, the white bars on this sign are in the opposite direction to the previous sign. And this sign means 300 yards to a roundabout or the next point at which traffic may leave a route. And our next sign is this, very similar to the previous one, but this one is green in color. And this one means 300 yards to a roundabout or to the next point at which traffic may leave a primary route. This is another countdown marker on the approach to a roundabout or an exit from a primary route. There may be 3 signs which are spaced at equal intervals along the approach. This one with the 3 white bars indicates that the exit is 300 yards away. And let's have a look at our next sign, which is this one. This is another rectangular sign, and this time is white in color. And this sign means 400 yards ahead to hazard. This sign indicates the distance to a hazard ahead and will be accompanied by another sign with an image indicating the nature of the hazard. And let's have a look at our next sign. This is another rectangular shaped sign, white in color. And this sign means 50 yards to a junction ahead, which is controlled by a give-way sign. There is a give-way sign being used to control a junction which is 50 yards ahead. Next question. Or should I say next sign, which is this. Again, you have another rectangular sign, white in color. This one means, as it says on the sign, accident ahead. Because of an accident in the road ahead, drivers should continue with caution and they should also adjust their speed accordingly. And sign number 20 is the following. This is a triangular shaped sign, white in color with red. So I think that you already know by now, triangular signs equal warnings, right? But let's see what this sign means. This sign means accompanied horses or ponies are likely to be in or crossing the road ahead. The road ahead is likely to be used by accompanied ponies and horses who may need to cross, so you should approach with caution. And our next sign is this. This is another rectangular sign and is white in color with some black on it as well. And this sign means additional traffic joining from the left ahead, non-primary route. This sign alerts drivers on the slip road that they will be joining the main carriageway of a non-primary route ahead, leading to the addition of a lane. And our following sign is very similar to our previous sign. However, this one is white in color with green. And let's see what this sign actually means. It means that additional traffic lane is joining from the left ahead. This sign will be displayed on a slip road and shows that you will be joining the main carriageway to the left, creating an extra lane. And our next sign is this. This one is again another rectangular sign, and this is blue in color with some white on it as well. And this sign means additional traffic lane joining from the left ahead in 200 yards. Traffic on the main carriageway has priority over the joining traffic. This sign warns you that in 200 yards, an extra lane of traffic will merge from the left. You have priority over vehicles joining the motorway. However, please proceed with caution. And our next sign is this. This is another rectangular sign and is white in color. It's got some black as well. And this sign means additional traffic lane joining from the left ahead, non-primary routes. This sign alerts drivers on the main carriageway of a non-primary route that a slip road is joining ahead from the left, leading to the addition of a lane. A panel indicating the distance before this happens may be shown alongside this sign. Sign number 25. Another rectangular sign, green in color. And this sign means additional traffic lane joining from the left in 200 yards. Traffic on main carriageway has priority over joining traffic from the right-hand lane of the slip road, primary routes. This sign alerts drivers on the main carriageway of a primary route that a two-lane slip road is joining ahead from the left, leading to the addition of one lane in 200 yards. Traffic on the main carriageway has priority over the merging traffic. And let's see our next sign, which is this sign. And this sign means additional traffic lane joining from the right ahead. This sign will be displayed on the main carriageway and shows that the slip road will be joining in the main carriageway from the left, thus creating an extra lane. And our next sign is this. You've got another rectangular green sign. And this sign means additional traffic lane joining from the right ahead. Traffic in the right-hand lane joins the main carriageway. Traffic on the main carriageway has priority over joining traffic. Primary route. This sign alerts drivers on the two-lane slip road that they will be joining the main carriageway of a primary route ahead, leading to the addition of one lane. Traffic on the main carriageway has priority over the merging traffic. And let's have a look at our next question. Or should I say sign. This one is another rectangular sign, and this time is blue in color. And this particular sign means additional traffic lanes joining from the right ahead. Traffic on the main carriageway has priority over joining traffic. This sign would be displayed on the slip road and shows that the right-hand lane will be merging with the acceleration lane and the left-hand lane will be joining the main carriageway as a lane gain. And our next question or sign is this, which is another rectangular sign, blue in color. This sign means advance warning of a mandatory height restriction ahead. And if you remember your signs, round signs, mandatory, red, mandatory. Okay? So let's see what we know about this sign. This sign provides road users prior warning of a compulsory height restriction on the route ahead. So if you pay attention to this particular sign, in the round shape you have 4.4 meters, so this is the height. And sign number 30 is the following. Another rectangular shaped sign, white in color. This sign means adverse camber on a bend or roundabout. There is an adverse camber on a roundabout or bend. An adverse camber is where part of the road surface is higher than another part of the road, which may cause vehicles to wobble. And let's have a look at our next sign. Another rectangular white sign. This sign means maximum speed of 30 miles per hour advised at a bend or other hazard. And sign number 32 is this sign, which is a triangle, white and red. And this sign means agricultural vehicles likely to be in the road ahead. There is a risk that farm traffic and agricultural vehicles will be using the road ahead, which may be slow-moving and difficult to pass. Sign number 33. This is another sign, white in color. And this sign means all vehicles prohibited during the time indicated except for access. During the stated time, in this particular case between 10 a.m. and 4 p.m., all vehicles are prohibited from using this route unless using it for access only. And let's have a look at our next sign, which is this. This is a round white and red sign. And the sign means all vehicles are prohibited except for pedal cycles being pushed by pedestrians. All vehicles other than pedal cycles that are being pushed by pedestrians are prohibited from using this route. Sign number 35. This is another rectangular sign, white and black. And the sign means all vehicles prohibited from Place Street during the period indicated except for access. During the stated period, in this case between 8 a.m. to sunset, all vehicles are prohibited from using Place Street for any reason other than for access. And our next sign is this big and bold round red sign. And this sign means another train or tram car may be about to pass over the level crossing. This sign indicates that another train or a tram car is potentially about to cross a level crossing. And our next sign is the following. This is another white and black sign with a red bar. And this sign means appropriate traffic lanes for different maneuvers at a junction after a break in a bus lane. At an upcoming junction, there will be a break in the bus lane. Where this happens, other traffic may use the left-hand lane for turning left only. And our next sign is this, a rectangular blue colored sign. And the sign means appropriate traffic lanes for different maneuvers at a junction ahead. This sign shows which lane you should be in if you wish to perform any of the displayed maneuvers. And our next sign is the following. This one is a square brown sign. And the sign means tourist symbol for England and Wales, house of historic or architectural importance. So please remember, brown color is tourist. And the sign shows the tourist symbol for a historic house which may be of architectural interest in England and Wales. Sign number 40. This sign is another square white and black sign, and I'm quite sure a lot of you know already what it means. But anyway, the sign means area in which cameras are used to enforce the speed limit regulations. This sign warns drivers that speed cameras are in use in this area to enforce speed limits. And our next sign is this, which is a big, bright red rectangular sign. And it's quite obvious what it means by what it says on it. So the sign means the area is infected by animal disease ahead. The area you are entering is an area with infected animals and where you might find animals that are a potential rabies risk. Next sign. This one is another square brown sign. And the sign means tourist symbol for England only, museum or art gallery. This sign shows the tourist symbol for a museum or an art gallery, but only in England. And our next sign is this rectangular blue sign. This sign means availability of motorway service areas ahead with distances and names of operators. This sign shows the next service areas, including those on other motorways if they can be reached by junction before the second service area. It includes the name of the operators. And let's have a look at our next sign, number 44, and this one is a rectangular white sign. The sign means length of road where two cameras are used to measure the average speed of a vehicle between 2 points. This sign marks a stretch of road where two cameras measure the average speed of vehicles between 2 points. And sign number 45 is this. This one is another rectangular white sign. And the sign means bay reserved for loading and unloading by goods vehicles. This sign tells you that this particular bay is for goods vehicles to load and unload. No other vehicles may be parked here. Next sign is this. This one is a square white sign. And it means bay reserved for loading and unloading by goods vehicles during the period indicated. This sign will tell you that this bay is for goods vehicles to load and unload during the times shown. In this particular sign, between Monday to Saturday, between 10 a.m. and 4 p.m. So during this time, no other vehicles may park there. And our next sign is this. This is another rectangular sign, white and yellow. And the sign means the bay is reserved for loading and unloading by goods vehicles during the period indicated and waiting prohibited during the period indicated. Sign number 48 is this. This is another square brown sign. The sign means tourist symbol for England and Wales. In this particular case, beach. This sign shows the tourist symbol for a beach in England and in Wales. And our next sign is the following. Triangular shaped sign, white and red. The sign means bend ahead to the right. This sign warns that the road ahead has a right-hand bend in it that may require you to slow down. Sign number 50. This is a rectangular brown sign. And the sign means tourist symbol for England and Wales, in this case a bird garden. This sign will show the tourist symbol for a bird garden in England and Wales. Next sign. This is a rectangular rounded white sign. And it means blasting danger ahead. There is a danger of blasting ahead, so you may hear a sudden loud noise. This could be near a mine, a quarry, or at a construction zone. Next sign is this. This is another rectangular white sign. And the sign means blind children are likely to cross the road ahead. Drivers are warned that they are approaching an area where there is a higher likelihood of blind children crossing the road, so they should adjust their speed down accordingly in case they need to stop suddenly. Next sign is this. This is another rectangular white sign, and the sign means blind pedestrians likely to cross the road ahead. Very similar to the other sign, but this time it applies to blind pedestrians in general, not only children. Drivers, again, are warned that they are approaching an area where there is a higher likelihood of blind people crossing the road, so they should adjust their speed down accordingly in case they need to stop suddenly. And our next sign is this, another rectangular white sign, and this sign means blind summit ahead. A blind summit is ahead in the road where, at the top of a hill, drivers may lose sight of the road as they go over the top of the hill. Sign number 55 is this. This is a square brown sign, and the sign means a tourist symbol for England and Wales, in this case 10-pin bowling. This sign shows the tourist symbol for 10-pin bowling in England and Wales. Our next sign is this. This one is another square white sign, and the sign means bus lane on road at junction ahead. From this sign, drivers know that a bus lane lies ahead at an upcoming junction. Next sign. This one is another square, but this time a blue color sign. And the sign means bus lane with traffic proceeding from both ways. Reminder for pedestrians. This sign marks a bus lane. It also includes a reminder for pedestrians that the traffic in this lane is approaching from both directions. Hence, it says on the sign, look both ways. And our next sign is this, which is a square blue sign and also a rectangle white sign. And this sign means parking place for buses. This sign marks places where only buses may park with no time limits. And let's have a look at our next sign, which is another square white sign, or is it a rectangle? This sign means a stopping place for buses. This sign labels places where buses may stop, allowing passengers to board or leave the vehicle. Sign number 60. This is a square brown sign. This sign means stopping place for buses used for carrying tourists to allow passengers to take photographs. This is a sign to identify a place where only tourist buses may stop, allowing their passengers to take photos. So this particular sign tells you that you can take photos only between 10 a.m. and 4 p.m. or it's a photo stop only from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Next sign, we have another rectangular white sign, and this sign means buses and cycles excluded from restriction or prohibition conveyed by associated sign. This sign explains that any prohibition outlined in an accompanying sign does not apply to either buses or cycles. Next sign. This is a round sign, blue in color, and it also has a rectangular white colored sign. And this sign means route for use by buses and cycles only. This sign marks a route which only buses and cycles are permitted to use. Next sign. This one is a round blue sign. The sign means route for use by buses and tram cars only. This sign marks a route which only buses and tram cars are allowed to use. And let's have a look at our next sign. Another round blue sign. This sign means it's a route for use by buses, pedal cycles and taxis only. This sign marks a route which only buses, cycles and taxis are allowed to use. And let's move on to sign number 65. This is a rectangular blue in color sign. The sign means entrance to bus station, depot or garage. This sign tells us that certain entrances are prohibited to all traffic except for buses. These signs can be seen at the entrances to bus garages, bus stations or bus depots. And our next sign is this. We have another rectangular white in color sign. And the sign means bypass of cattle grid for horse-drawn vehicles. This sign shows horse-drawn vehicles an alternative route for them to use at a cattle grid. And our following sign is this, which is a rectangular brown sign. And this sign means camping and caravan site 300 yards ahead. This sign shows that a camping and a caravan site is ahead, indicating the distance. Either the tent or the caravan symbol may be left out to reflect which facilities are available. The name of the site may also be shown on this sign. And our next sign is the following. Another brown color sign. This sign means camping and caravan site 300 yards in the direction indicated. The sign marks the approach to a camping and caravan site, indicating the distance and the direction as well. Either the tent or the caravan symbol may be left out to reflect which facilities are available. Next sign is a square brown sign, and the sign means tourist symbol for England and Wales, castle of historic or architectural interest in this particular case. This sign shows the tourist symbol for a castle in England and Wales. And let's have a look at sign number 70. This is another rectangular white in color sign. The sign means supervised cattle crossing 200 yards ahead. This sign warns that there is a cattle crossing ahead in 200 yards that is supervised. Next sign. This is a triangular white and red sign. And the sign means cattle grid ahead. The road ahead is crossed with a cattle grid. Next sign. We have another triangular white and red sign. This sign means cattle likely to be in the road ahead. Cattle are a possible risk on the road ahead, so drivers should continue with caution. Next sign. We have a square yellow sign here, which means center lane of a 3-lane single carriageway road closed. This sign indicates that the central lane of a single carriageway with 3 lanes is closed for use by users of the road. Next sign is this. This is another square blue sign, and the sign means Vehicle and Operator Services Agency checkpoint ahead. This is a sign to inform drivers that they are approaching a checkpoint for the Vehicle and Operator Services Agency. Sign number 75. We have here a rectangular blue colored sign. The sign means that drivers should check their distance from the vehicle in front. This sign is usually found by chevron markers and encourages drivers to check how far away they are from the vehicle in front of them. Next sign. This is another rectangular white in color sign this time. And the sign means testing of child cyclists ahead. This plate may be shown alongside signs indicating cycle routes ahead. This one warns that the testing of child cyclists may take place ahead. Next sign. This is another rectangular white sign. And the sign means training of child cyclists ahead. This plate may be shown alongside signs indicating cycle routes ahead. This one warns that the training of child cyclists may take place ahead. Next question, or rather sign, this is a triangular white and red sign. The sign means children going to or from school or playground ahead. The area ahead is near a school or a playground where children and parents may be going to or from, so please drive with caution. Next sign is another rectangular, but this time black sign. And this sign means closure of all lanes of a 4-lane carriageway ahead. This light signal will be suspended above all lanes of traffic and show that all 4 lanes are closed. Sign number 80. This is another rectangular black sign. This sign means closure of all lanes of a 3-lane carriageway ahead. This light signal will be suspended above all lanes of traffic and show that all 3 lanes are closed. If you pay attention to this particular sign, it will show you the amount of lanes. In this particular case, you've got the dots there which form a line, and you've got 3 lines, so 3 bars, so these are 3 lanes. And let's have a look at our next sign. This is another rectangular black sign, and this sign means closure of both lanes of a 2-lane carriageway ahead. This light signal will be suspended above all lanes of traffic and show that both of the 2 lanes are closed. Next sign is this. It's similar to the previous sign. It's rectangular in shape and black in color. However, this time, as you can see, the lights are amber rather than red as in the previous signs. So this particular sign means closure of 1 lane of a 4-lane carriageway ahead. This light signal again will be suspended above a lane of traffic and shows that the left-hand lane ahead is closed, reducing a 4-lane carriageway to 3 lanes. Next sign, we have another rectangular blue sign. This particular sign means closure of 1 lane of a 3-lane carriageway ahead. This light signal will be again suspended above a lane of traffic and shows that the left-hand lane ahead is closed, reducing a 3-lane carriageway to 2 lanes. Next sign, we have another black rectangular sign, and this sign means closure of right-hand lane of a 2-lane carriageway ahead. This light signal will be suspended above a lane of traffic and shows that the left-hand lane ahead is closed, reducing a 2-lane carriageway to 1 lane. Sign number 85, and here we have another rectangular black color sign. This sign means closure of 2 lanes of a 3-lane carriageway ahead. This light signal will be suspended above a lane of traffic and shows that 2 lanes of traffic are closed, reducing a 3-lane carriageway to 1 lane. Next sign, we have a rectangular big red sign here, and this sign means commencement point of a newly imposed 30 miles per hour speed limit, which is contiguous to an existing 30 miles per hour speed limit. A temporary sign to signal the new extension of an existing 30 miles per hour speed limit in place of a previously higher speed limit. Next sign is this. I'm quite sure that a lot of you are familiar with this sign, but anyway, the shape is round and it's in red and white. So let's see what this sign means. Road congestion charge zone reminder. And our next sign is this, which is another rectangular, or is it square, yellow sign. And this sign means continuous prohibition on waiting by vehicles with an exemption for taxis during the period indicated. So if you have a look at this particular sign, accept taxis between 11 p.m. and 5 a.m. This sign tells you that no stopping is allowed at any time for any reason, with the exception of taxis who may wait during the displayed times. Next sign is this. This one is a rectangular yellow sign, and the sign means continuous prohibition on waiting except for loading and unloading for the period indicated. So here is between the 1st of May and 30th of September. The sign tells you that you are not allowed to wait at any time between the dates shown. Loading and unloading, however, is allowed during this time. Sign number 90. Here we have another rectangular yellow sign. And this sign means continuous prohibition on waiting except loading and unloading on the footway. This sign tells you that you must not wait on the footway at any time. Next sign is this, another square yellow sign. And this sign means continuous prohibition on waiting except loading and unloading on the verge. This sign tells you that you must not wait on the verge at any time. Next sign, another square yellow sign. And this sign in particular shows continuous prohibition on waiting except for loading and unloading on verge or on the footway. This sign tells you that you must not wait on the verge or footway at any time. Next sign. This is a square blue sign this time. And the sign means contraflow bus lane, which pedal cycles may also use with traffic approaching from the right. This is a reminder for pedestrians. This sign marks a contraflow bus lane which only buses and pedal cycles are allowed to use. It also includes a reminder for pedestrians that the traffic in this lane is approaching from the right. Next sign. Here we have a rectangular blue sign. And this particular sign means contraflow bus lane. The sign indicates a contraflow bus lane beside two lanes available for other traffic, represented by the two arrows on the left. Sign number 95 is this. We have another rectangular blue in color sign. This sign means contraflow cycle lane. The sign marks a contraflow cycle lane with two lanes available for other traffic, indicated by the two arrows on the left. Next sign. This one is a square sign, yellow in color, white in color. And the sign means entrance to a controlled parking zone. This sign tells you that you are entering a zone where waiting is prohibited. Next sign is this. This is a rectangular white colored sign with red bars. Remember the white sign with red bars? Let's see if you can remember. So the sign means countdown marker to railway or tramway level crossing. This is a marker which indicates countdown that reached 300 yards to a level crossing for trains or tram cars. Next sign is another rectangular white and red sign. And this sign means countdown marker to railway or tramway level crossing. And of course the sign indicates 200 yards. And this is the next sign, which is another square brown sign. The sign means tourist symbol for England and Wales. In this particular case, a country park. This sign shows the tourist symbol for a country park in England and in Wales. And now we have reached our last question for today's video, which is question 100, or rather sign 100. And let's have a look. So here we have a rectangular shaped sign, blue in color. And this sign means county boundary. So this is a county boundary sign. This sign shows a county border or the name of a river. Scenario number 1. You are driving behind a cyclist. The road has potholes and cracks. Further ahead, there is a roundabout. A horse rider is approaching it in the left-hand lane. In a built-up area with street lights, you see a school sign with a flashing amber signal. There are no speed limit signs. Later, you stop at a pedestrian crossing where the lights are red. The person crossing carries a red banded white stick and has a guide dog wearing a red and white checked harness. So, with this scenario in mind, question number 1. What might the cyclist need to do on this road surface? So let's recap. You are driving behind this cyclist and the road has potholes and cracks. So what do you think that the cyclist might need to do on this road surface? And let's have a look at our questions. A. Speed up. B. Swerve. C. Turn left. Or D. Turn around. And the correct answer is B. Swerve. Question number 2. What should you expect the horse rider to do next? So now we finish with the cyclist, okay? You are driving further ahead where you have a roundabout and this horse rider is approaching the roundabout in the left-hand lane. So what should you expect the horse rider to do next? A. Go in any direction. B. Make a left-hand turn. C. Make a right-hand turn. Or D. Proceed straight on. And the correct answer is A. Go in any direction. Next question. What does this flashing amber signal mean? Now remember, you finished with the cyclist, with the roundabout and the horse rider. Now you are driving in an area where there is a school and there is a school sign with a flashing amber signal. There is no speed limit sign in this area. So what does this flashing amber signal mean? A. Children may be crossing the road. B. Children may be playing in the road. C. Parents may be standing in the road. Or D. Vehicles may be turning in the road. And the correct answer is A. Children may be crossing the road. Next question. What would the speed limit be in the built-up area? So the built-up area is the same area where you see this amber light signal with school, with children crossing. So this built-up area, you have street lights. There is no speed limit sign. So what would the speed limit be in the built-up area? A. 10 miles per hour. B. 20 miles per hour. C. 30 miles per hour. Or D. 40 miles per hour. And the correct answer is C. 30 miles per hour. Question number 5. What can you tell about the person at the pedestrian crossing? So let's recap. At the pedestrian crossing, the lights are red and the person who is crossing the road has a red banded white stick with a guide dog wearing a red and white checked harness. So, what can you tell about this person at the pedestrian crossing? A. They are blind and mute. B. They are deaf and blind. C. They are partially blind. Or D. They are partially deaf. And the correct answer is B. They are deaf and blind. And now let's move on to our second scenario. So the weather outside is dry, but it's very windy. On the motorway, you see a car which is towing a large caravan in the middle lane. You then move on to a long open stretch of a single carriageway where you pass a motorcyclist. Later, you are traveling behind a long vehicle and you want to overtake. Once in town, there are trams directed by traffic lights and you have to drive across their tracks. Further on, a bus is signaling its intention to pull out from a bus stop. So let's start from the beginning with question number 1. What is the national motorway speed limit for the vehicle and caravan? A. 40 miles per hour, B. 50 miles per hour, C. 60 miles per hour, or D. 70 miles per hour. And the correct answer is C. 60 miles per hour. Question number 2. What could happen to the motorcyclist in these weather conditions? So remember that even though outside is dry, so it's not raining, it's very windy. So what do you think could happen to the motorcyclist because of the wind? A. They could be blown off course. B. They could have engine trouble. C. They may have to turn around. Or D. They may travel faster than usual. And the correct answer is A. They could be blown off course. Next question. What should you do when following the long vehicle? So remember that you are traveling behind a long vehicle and you want to overtake. So what should you do when you are following this long vehicle? A. Drop back so you can see more of the road ahead. B. Get closer so that you can overtake more quickly. C. Keep pressing the horn to get the driver's attention. Or D. Slow down until the long vehicle moves out of sight. And the correct answer is A. Drop back so you can see more of the road ahead. Question number 4. Why is it important not to obstruct these tracks? So remember, you got out of the motorway and once you arrive in town, there are trams which are directed by traffic lights and you have to drive across the tracks. So why is it important not to obstruct these tracks? A. Electric power to the tram may be disrupted. B. The wheels of your vehicle could get stuck. C. Trams are unable to steer around obstructions. Or D. Your tire treads could be seriously damaged. And the correct answer is C. Trams are unable to steer around obstructions. Question number 5. What should you do about the bus? So the bus is signaling its intention to pull out from a bus stop. So what should you do about the bus? A. Drive past slowly so that the driver can see you. B. Give way as long as it's safe to do that. C. Speed up and pass the bus before it pulls out. Or D. Stop and switch on the hazard warning lights. And the correct answer is B. Give way as long as it's safe to do so. And let's now move on to scenario number 3. You are driving in very thick fog and the road surface is also quite damp or wet. You are using fog lights as well as the headlights. You leave a larger gap than normal between your vehicle and the one in front of you. Later, a drain is being unblocked and the pumping vehicle is obstructing the road on your side. Further on, there are rumble devices on the approach to a roundabout. So let's start with question number 1. How might the road condition affect your stopping distance? So remember that it's very foggy and the road is quite wet. So how can that affect your stopping distance? A. It could be doubled. B. It may be improved. C. It remains unaffected. Or D. It should be halved. And the correct answer is A. It could be doubled. Question number 2. Why would you be using your fog lights? A. Visibility is below 100 meters. B. Visibility is below 150 meters. C. Visibility is below 200 meters. Or D. Visibility is below 250 meters. And the correct answer is A. The visibility is below 100 meters. Question number 3. Why would you leave a larger gap between your car and the one in front of you? A. Other vehicles' lights may dazzle you. B. The vehicle ahead may stop suddenly. C. You may need to stop suddenly. Or D. Your vehicle's lights might cause glare. And the correct answer is B. The vehicle ahead of you may stop suddenly. Question number 4. What should you do before overtaking the pumping vehicle? So remember that you are now out of the highway, out of the motorway, and on your way there is a drain which is being unblocked, and the pumping vehicle is obstructing the road on your side. So what should you do before you overtake this pumping vehicle? A. Pass slowly with hazard warning lights on. B. Use the horn and drive past quickly. C. Wait until the road ahead is clear. Or D. Wait until the vehicle stops working. And the correct answer is C. Wait until the road ahead is clear. Question number 5. What information would the rumble devices provide to help you? So on your last bit of the journey, you encounter rumble devices on the approach to a roundabout. So what information would these devices provide to help you? A. A caution to check your tire pressures. B. A reminder to make you aware of your speed. C. A routine test of your car's suspension. Or D. A warning about the road surface condition. And the correct answer is B. A reminder to make you aware of your speed. And our following scenario number 4, is this. You are towing a small trailer behind your car and you are joining the motorway from a slip road. The motorway is busy with the morning traffic. Further along the motorway, the central reservation is coned off for repair. Lanes have been narrowed for some distance using cones and temporary reflective studs. Once you are past the roadworks, traffic speeds up and the left-hand lane becomes clear. You then realize that you've gone past the exit you need. So the first question is this. Who has priority at the motorway slip road junction? Now remember that you are towing a small trailer and you are joining the motorway from a slip road. So in this instance, who has priority? A. Vehicles already traveling in the left-hand lane. B. Vehicles joining the motorway from the slip road. C. Vehicles leaving the motorway via the slip road. Or D. Vehicles traveling along on the hard shoulder. And the correct answer is A. Vehicles already traveling in the left-hand lane. Question number 2. What colors would these studs be? So remember that the motorway has traffic works going on with cones and also reflective studs. So what would the color of the studs be? A, blue or yellow, B, green or yellow, C, orange yellow, or D, red yellow. And the correct answer is B, green yellow. Question number 3. Which lane should you use after the road works? So remember that you are passing the road works, the traffic is speeding up, and then the left-hand lane becomes clear. So which lane should you use after the road works? A, the hard shoulder, B, the left-hand lane, C, the middle lane, or D, the right-hand lane. And the correct answer is B, the left-hand lane. Question number 4. What is the national motorway speed limit for your vehicle and trailer? A, 50 miles per hour, B, 60 miles per hour, C, 70 miles per hour, or D, 80 miles per hour. And the correct answer is B, 60 miles per hour. Question number 5. What should you do about leaving the motorway? So remember that once you pass the roadworks and the lanes become clear, in particular the left-hand lane becomes clear, you realize that you actually gone past the exit you needed to take. So what should you do now about leaving the motorway? A, continue on until you reach the next exit. B, go on until you reach the end of the motorway. C, reverse back to the exit that you missed. Or D, wait on the hard shoulder for traffic officers. And the correct answer is A, continue on until you reach the next exit. And let's move on to scenario number 5. It's early in the evening and the street lamps are lit. You are driving home at 30 miles per hour, although there are no speed limit signs. The road is a single carriageway and you are alone in your car. Sleet is falling steadily and it's quite cold outside. Ahead, a vehicle is spreading salt on the road. In town, there are high occupancy vehicle lanes which you don't use. Your home is level with a zebra crossing, but you park beyond its markings further down the road. So, keeping in mind this scenario, question number 1. How have you identified the 30 miles per hour speed limit? Remember, there is no speed limit signs, there are only lamps which are lit. A, there are many retail outlets still open in the town. B, there are plenty of pedestrians and cyclists around. C, there are regularly spaced streetlights in the area. Or D, there are yellow lines painted on the road surface. And the correct answer is C, there are regularly spaced streetlights in the area. Question number 2. What would the normal center white line markings be on this road? So the road is a single carriageway. So what would the center line markings be? A, long dashes with long spaces. B, long dashes with short spaces. C, short dashes with long spaces. Or D, short dashes with short spaces. And the correct answer is C, short dashes with long spaces. Question number 3. What color flashing beacon would the salting vehicle have? A, amber, B, green, C, red, or D, white. And the correct answer is A, amber. Question number 4. Why would you not use the high occupancy lane on your journey? A. It's for vehicles of all types but only at certain times. B. Is for vehicles of as many types and sizes as possible. C. It's for vehicles which have flashing amber beacons. Or D. It's for vehicles that have 2 or more occupants. And the correct answer is D. It's for vehicles which have 2 or more occupants. Question number 5 and our last question for the day. Why don't you park level with your home? So remember that you are towards the end of the journey. You just got home, but your home is level with a zebra crossing. However, you park behind the markings further down the road. So why don't you park level with your home? A. Because you don't want to park there. B. Because you haven't paid your vehicle excise duty or the road tax. C. Because you mustn't park there. Or D. Because your parking permit expired. And the correct answer is C. Because you must not park there. And this round sign indicates prohibition. So this is something you must not do. The sign means no vehicles. This empty looking sign alerts drivers that access to an area is prohibited. According to the highway code, the no vehicles means any vehicles including cars, vans and motorbikes. They are banned from accessing the area indicated. However, pedestrians who are pushing a pedal cycle by hand, they are allowed to pass. Sign number 2. And this is it. This red triangular sign indicates a warning, an upcoming hazard. This sign means tank. This warning sign is usually displayed where the army practices the tank and armored vehicle training, and the sign is meant to inform motorists that slow-moving military vehicles are likely to be in or crossing the road. Depending on the size of the military vehicle, it could take up more than one lane on the motorway or on a major A road, and it's usually slow-moving and very unlikely to be anywhere near the speed limit of 70 miles per hour. These road warning signs are quite uncommon in England, and there are none displayed on the trunk road network in Scotland. But it's very important to be alert to what these signs mean if you ever find yourself around a tank or armored vehicle training ground. And our next sign is sign number 3. This red triangular sign indicates a warning, an upcoming hazard. And the sign means wild horses or ponies likely to be in the road ahead. Please don't confuse this sign with the one which is advising drivers of accompanied horses or ponies likely to be crossing the road, as this particular sign indicates wild horses or ponies. Basically, this sign is warning motorists to pay attention and look out for any horses or ponies which may gallop across the road or just grazing at the side of the carriageway. With several signs in England, Scotland and Wales, this sign is quite rare across the strategic road network, but it's significant for motorists to be aware if they ever come across one. Next sign, and this is it. This red triangular sign indicates a warning, an upcoming hazard. This sign means wildfowl likely to be in the road ahead. This sign warns drivers that there is likely to be wildfowl in the road, including birds such as ducks, swans, and geese, which live close to ponds or rivers. Ducks often they cross the road with their ducklings in tow, completely unaware of any oncoming traffic. So if you do see this sign, please remember to pay attention and slow down in case that the birds they decide to wander into the road. And sign number 5 is the following. This sign. This is another red triangular sign which indicates a warning, so an upcoming hazard of some kind. This sign means Ford ahead. Please don't confuse the sign with the UK car manufacturer Ford. This sign really means that there is shallow water in the road where vehicles can cross. So you need to make sure that you use caution when you see the warning. A ford is defined as a shallow place in a river or a stream, allowing someone to walk or to drive across. However, after heavy rainfall, you need to be careful because the water may have risen to a point which is dangerous for some vehicles to tackle. And our next sign is this. Another red triangular sign which indicates a warning or an upcoming hazard. And this particular sign means railway level crossing without gate or barrier ahead. This is one of the rarest signs in the UK and is positioned before a level crossing where a railway line crosses a road and informs drivers that there is no gate or barrier present. When you approach this sign, you must stop and you must give way to any trains, just like you would at a standard road junction. These particular signs are mainly seen on quieter roads, and that's why only 3 can be found on the strategic road network in Wales, and there are none of these signs on the Scottish or English motorways or major A roads. Sign number 7 is this. And this red triangular sign again indicates a warning or an upcoming hazard. And judging by what it says under the sign, you might understand what it means. It means migratory toads crossing. This road sign warns drivers to beware of toads crossing the road. So you need to proceed cautiously or you may have to change routes. These signs are most common in early spring to help amphibians reach their spawning grounds. Sign number 8. This red triangular sign again indicates another warning or an upcoming hazard. Although it looks kind of antique, or old, this sign means horse-drawn vehicles. Even though, like I said, it seems like an old sign, not from this century, it's still used on roads around the UK. It means that horse-drawn vehicles will likely be using the road ahead, which may make it slow and difficult to move past, so please be extra cautious. Next sign is this. This green rectangular sign indicates directions on primary routes. So we are looking at the green sign here. This sign means start of a designated quiet lane. The purpose of quiet lanes is to maintain the character of minor rural roads by seeking to contain rising widespread traffic growth in rural areas. Requirements to be identified as a quiet lane and to get a sign include having less than 1,000 vehicles travel through a day and having a traffic speed of less than 35 miles per hour. These signs are usually on narrow single-track roads, so you won't be seeing them in busy cities. Sign number 10. And this is the one. This red triangular sign indicates a warning or an upcoming hazard. The sign means quayside or riverbank. It's extremely important that you know the meaning of this sign, as it could prevent a catastrophe for drivers who don't know the sign. It's a warning to drivers that they are coming to the end of a road and they are approaching either a riverside or a quayside, and they may not be able to see the edge. And our next sign is this. Sign number 11. Kind of looks like an exploding car, right? This round sign actually indicates prohibition, something you must not do. The sign means no vehicles carrying explosives. And no, it's not actually an exploding car, okay? So please don't worry there. The sign means that no explosives are allowed in the area, so it only applies to a few motorists who are carrying dangerous loads. So please stay clear if you do have a car full of fireworks, for example. Sign number 12. It's very similar to our previous sign, but there is a bit of a difference there. So this is a red circular sign which indicates prohibition, something you must not do. And it means no horse-drawn vehicles. This sign is still in use today, so if you are planning on arriving to your wedding, for example, in a horse and carriage, watch out for this rare road sign. Next sign is this. It's very similar to our other sign with the riverbank, but this is slightly different. So this red triangular sign indicates a warning or an upcoming hazard. The sign means water course alongside the road ahead. It literally means water course along road ahead. So if you see one of these signs, watch your speed and approach with caution. And if you have a look at the photo that you see on your screen right now, you can see that on the left hand side you have water there on the side of the road. So basically, it's kind of obvious. Okay, moving on to our next sign. Sign number 14, which is this. And again, this red triangular sign indicates a warning or an upcoming hazard. The sign means steep hill upwards, and the sign is used to alert drivers of hills on the road ahead. Steep hills upward show an incline to the right of the sign. The percentage shown refers to the tangent of the angle ahead and is sometimes expressed as a ratio on some of older signs. You may notice that the gradient of a hill becomes steeper as you drive, so always look out for new signs. It's important to stay in a low gear to prevent your engine struggling to deliver more power than necessary. So although this particular sign is showing you steep hill upwards, you also have steep hill downwards, which is going to be kind of like the opposite of the angle of this sign here. Sign number 15. And that's this sign, which is very bright, isn't it? This red triangular sign indicates, again, a warning or an upcoming hazard. And as you can see underneath this sign, you also have written hidden dip. This sign means other danger or a hidden dip. Many drivers believe that an exclamation mark in a red triangle is only used to warn of a hidden dip in the road. But the sign can also indicate any temporary or permanent hazards which aren't easily represented by using symbols. So please drive more cautiously and keep your eye out for a second sign for more details about the hazard. Next sign. I wonder what is the first thing that comes to your mind when you see this sign. But anyway, the sign is a red triangular sign, which again indicates another warning or an upcoming hazard. And this sign means electrified overhead cable ahead. It shows that there are potentially overhead electrical hazards above the road. You might see this sign near railway or tram cables, and they will usually be paired with a plate informing you of the maximum safe height for vehicles. You won't need to worry if you are, for example, in a car or on a motorbike, but tall vehicles such as lorries, they need to ensure that they can fit to avoid damage to their vehicle roof and the cables. And let's have a look at sign number 17. This is a blue circular sign and it indicates a mandatory instruction. And this particular sign means minimum speed limit. The sign is telling you that it's actually illegal to drive at under 30 miles per hour in this particular case. It's a minimum speed limit sign. These signs exist in places where there are specific reasons for which driving under a set speed might be dangerous or cause congestion. For example, in tunnels. So not all of the signs will show you 30 miles per hour, but this type of signs, it means that you must not drive under the minimum speed limit. It's actually illegal. Sign number 18. This is actually a sign that I found in my area, and I took a photo of it because I found it quite interesting. I'm not sure if you've come across it yourself. But this circular or heart-shaped sign possibly indicates prohibition, something you must not do. And I say possibly because it's not 100% confirmed in all of the areas in the UK, but you will understand a bit better just as I explained to you the whole meaning of it. So this sign means a maximum speed limit of 20 miles per hour. And like I said, and according to my research, this is a fairly new sign which is not yet implemented in all the councils in the UK. And Wales was in fact one of the first countries in the world and the first nation in the United Kingdom to introduce legislation to have a default 20 miles per hour speed limit. And this kind of sign is usually found in quiet areas. Each council, each local council in England, they decide how to implement this speed limit and where. And and according to my research, residents of a certain area, they can also ask for this to be implemented. And yeah, like I said, is mostly found is usually found in quiet areas, also areas around school and where children might be crossing, playgrounds and stuff like that. And our next sign is number 19. This is another one which I found in my area, and it's not exactly a traffic sign, but I would like to think that it's considered a road sign. So this square-shaped sign indicates a vehicle restraint system and terminal. This sign means, along with the barrier behind the sign, a road safety barrier, commonly known as a crash barrier, a protective structure strategically placed along roads to prevent vehicles from leaving the roadway or from colliding with obstacles. In this case, you might see obstacles like the fence and the woodland area in this photo. These restraint systems, they play a vital role in reducing the severity of accidents and protecting drivers, passengers, and pedestrians. Sign number 20. And this is the sign. So this circular sign indicates prohibition, something that you must not do. It's very similar to the heart-shaped sign that I showed you, but this one is a circle sign. And this sign is a local speed limit of 20 miles per hour. Local councils, they can introduce their own speed limits, but this must be clearly signed. Look for any signs featuring a number within a red circle. In areas where vulnerable road users, such as children and cyclists, are frequently found, a 20-mile-per-hour limit is often enforced. This could be on small residential roads or near schools, and they are often enforced by traffic calming measures like speed bumps and chicanes to physically slow cars down. Sign number 21. This is it. This red rectangular sign indicates a warning, an upcoming hazard. This sign means that it's a temporary sign set to warn drivers of a permanent change in the road layout ahead. These signs are usually temporary and they have a date of completion on the back for when any kind of works will end. There might also be other temporary instruction signs. Sign number 22. I know that we don't have, the lockdowns anymore, but this is a sign which I found, and myself personally, I've never come across this kind of sign, but I'm sure that they were in many places in the UK during lockdown. So this rectangular red sign indicates a warning or an upcoming hazard. And this is a sign for pedestrians which indicates that they should observe social distancing. These signs are usually temporary and they have a date of expiry on the back. So I doubt that you will find this kind of signs any longer. It was during the COVID lockdown. Sign number 23. And this is another sign which I came across whilst I was living in London. So this circular sign shows the entrance to a specific facility or public building, if you will. And this particular sign in the photo means that there is an underground train or a tube station or a train station, if you will. You will most likely hear about tube stations if you live in London. The road sign shows that the round sign shows that there is an underground railway station, and the public subway text underneath the sign means that there is also a pedestrian route under the road to get to the train station. Sign number 24. Yes, it's actually a sign. This red rectangular sign indicates a warning or an upcoming hazard. The cat's eye removed sign means that there are no small reflectors in the middle of the road. These reflectors are more commonly known as cat's eyes. So that's why it says on it cat's eyes removed. And our last sign for today is this particular sign. Have you ever come across this sign before? This blue rectangular sign indicates a positive instruction or information. This sign indicates that the road is splitting into an HOV lane, also known as high occupancy vehicle lane. This kind of works similar to a bus lane. So HOV lanes are for vehicles other than lorries which are carrying at least one passenger as well as the driver. That's why you have the 2+ symbol on the sign. According to the Department for Transport, the aim of these lanes is to reduce traffic congestion by encouraging car sharing. So they want to convince people to kind of, travel together so that it minimizes the numbers of cars on the roads, which in turn eases congestion and reduces pollution from vehicles. Similar to carpooling in the US, and I think we could say that Uber kind of also fits in with the definition. This particular sign, which is on your screens, is telling you that there are two lanes of traffic, both traveling up the road, but you are only allowed to drive in the left-hand lane at certain times if you have at least two people in the car. Between Monday and Friday, between 7 a.m. and 9 a.m., and between 4 p.m. and 6 p.m., in this particular sign, you have to have a passenger. There are cameras which enforce this rule, so if you do not have a passenger and you are on your own as the driver in the car, you will get a fine. So wherever you see this sign, it might not be the same timings and the same days, but obviously the sign will indicate the times of day and the days. And yeah, I saved the weirdest UK traffic sign to the last. And yeah, this is a lot to take in, the last traffic sign, and it's a lot to remember. But you can kind of get some pointers from the sign which will make it easier for you to remember, such as the number there, which indicates how many people can be in the car, and then also you have the timings on there. You have a 2-hour drive to make on a motorway. You have a cold and your nose is slightly blocked. You take an off-the-shelf cold remedy to help reduce the symptoms. It's a cold and dull day, and the car heater is on. You also turn on your dipped headlights. An hour into the boring journey, you begin to feel drowsy. Question number 1. What information should you check on the medication that you just took for your cold? A. Information about the manufacturer of the medicine. B. Information about how many pills are in the packet. C. Information about the retailers who stock the product. Or D. Information about the medicine causing drowsiness. And the correct answer is D. Information about the medicine causing drowsiness. So guys, we are still at the same scenario where you are driving on a motorway, you have a cold and you took a cold medicine. Question number 2. Why would you be using lights in daylight? Remember that you are turning on your dipped headlights. So this question is, why would you be using lights in daylight? And let's have a look at our options. A. To catch sight of road signs easily. B. To improve your view of the road. C. To maximize your visibility to others. Or D. To observe other vehicles more clearly. And the correct answer is C. To maximize your visibility to others. Question number 3. How does this journey affect you? Now remember that you are driving 2 hours on the motorway, you have a cold, you have taken tablets for your cold, and also it's a dull day outside, so you are using your dipped headlights. And you are beginning to feel drowsy 1 hour into your journey. So let's see what our question is. How does this journey affect you? A. You become attentive. B. You become drowsy. C. You feel angry. Or D. You feel happy. And the correct answer is B. You become drowsy. Next question. What should you do about your condition? So you become drowsy. So what should you do? A. Drive more slowly, turn the vehicle around and go back home. B. Keep driving, slow down a little while taking a caffeinated drink. C. Stop in a service area drink a caffeinated drink or coffee and then rest, or D, stop on the hard shoulder, recline the seat fully and rest. And the correct answer is C. Stop in a service area, drink a caffeinated drink or coffee, and then rest. Question number 5. How could you help yourself stay alert in the short term? So again, remember you are going to be driving to a service area, but in the meantime, you still need to drive there. So how are you going to keep yourself alert? A. Open a can of drink. B. Open the window. C. Turn on the radio. Or D. Turn up the heater. And the correct answer is B. Open the window. So open the window, get some fresh air so you can stay alert whilst you are getting to the service station. Obviously, if you will turn up the heater, it's just going to make you feel even sleepier or drowsier. So that's not a good option. Opening a can of drink again is not going to do much for you. And neither will the radio. I mean, if you get a slow song on the radio, then probably it's going to make you even drowsier. So the obvious answer would be to open the window so you can get some fresh air inside. Now let's move on to our next scenario. Scenario number 2. Please pay attention. So you are driving in heavy traffic. It just rained, but now the bright sun is causing glare on the wet road. A car overtakes, then pulls back sharply into the traffic just in front of you. Further on, there is a roundabout with 2 lanes on approach. You need to take the first exit, turning left. A large vehicle in front signals left but straddles both lanes. The traffic is still heavy and there is a zebra crossing up ahead. People are waiting to cross. So, our first question for this scenario is, if you are affected by the road conditions, how should you react? So remember, it rained previously, now it's bright and sunny, but there is glare on the road. So how should you react? A. Slow down and if you need to, stop. B. Speed up to get out of the sunlight. C. Turn around and go back home. Or D. Turn on your hazard warning lights. And the correct answer is A. Slow down and if you need to, then stop. Question number 2. What should you do about the overtaking vehicle? So remember that there is a car which overtakes, then pulls back sharply into the traffic just in front of you. So what should you do about the overtaking car? A. Become upset, slow down and use the horn. B. Feel annoyed, speed up and use the horn. C. Remain calm, slow down and increase the gap. Or D. Stay focused, speed up and reduce the gap. And the correct answer is C. Remain calm, slow down and increase the gap. Question number 3. How should you be positioned as you approach the roundabout? So further on, there is a roundabout with 2 lanes on approach. You need to take the first exit, turning left. So how should you be positioned as you approach the roundabout? A. In the left-hand lane while signaling left. B. In the left-hand lane without signaling. C. In the right-hand lane while signaling right. Or D. In the right-hand lane without signaling. And the correct answer is A. In the left-hand lane while signaling left. Question number 4. Why is the large vehicle taking this position? So at the roundabout, the large vehicle in front of you signals left but straddles both lanes. So why is the vehicle taking this position? A. The driver isn't sure which way to go. B. The indicators are not working properly. C. The load being carried is extremely heavy. Or D. The vehicle needs more room to turn. And the correct answer is D. The vehicle needs more room to turn. Question number 5. What should you do at the zebra crossing? So after the roundabout, the traffic is still heavy and there is also a zebra crossing up ahead. People are waiting to cross. What should you do at the zebra crossing? A. Inch forward slowly as the pedestrians cross. B. Rev the engine until the pedestrians cross. C. Stop and then wave the pedestrians across. Or D. Stop and wait for the pedestrians to cross. And the correct answer is D. Stop and wait for the pedestrians to cross. And now let's move on to scenario number 3. And here it is. You drive through the city center, choosing to travel outside of the rush hour. In the city, there are double red lines along the roadside. Later, you reach a major junction. The traffic lights are not working, but there are very few vehicles on the road. At work, you have to park on the roadside. When parking, your steering feels a little heavy. You pick up your laptop to take to work and then you lock your car. You leave your camera on the back seat. So, question number 1. What effect could your choice of travel time have on your journey? So remember that you are driving through the city center, however, you are driving outside of the rush hour. So, what effect could this have on your journey? A. Higher traffic volume. B. Increased delays. C. Reduced mileage. Or D. Reduced travel time. And the correct answer is D. Reduced travel time. And apologies, the B is the one in the error, so that's the wrong one. The correct answer is D. Reduced travel time. So of course you are traveling outside of the rush hour, so you will have less of the traveling time to do before you reach work. Question number 2. What do the red lines mean? So in the city, there are double red lines along the roadside. What do they mean? A. No stopping at any time. B. No stopping at lunchtime. C. No stopping at night time. Or D. No stopping at peak time. And the correct answer is A. No stopping at any time. Question number 3. What should you do at the traffic lights? So the traffic lights are not working, but there are a few vehicles ahead on the road. So what should you do at the traffic lights which are not working? A. Continue on and assume you have right of way. B. Drive across the junction as quickly as possible. C. Proceed with care as with an unmarked junction. Or D. Stop and wait for signals to start working again. And the correct answer is C. Proceed with care as you would with an unmarked junction. Question number 4. What could be affecting your steering? So you got to work and now you are parking your car and you just notice that your steering feels a little heavy. What could affect your steering? A. The tires which are low on tread. B. The tires which are non-matching. C. Tires which are overinflated. Or D. Tires which are underinflated. And the correct answer is D. Tires that are underinflated. Question number 5. What should you do with your camera? Now remember the scenario from the beginning to the end. So you are driving to work, you are parking at work, you take your laptop from your car, but you forget your camera on the back seat. So the question is, what should you do with your camera? A. Cover it up with a thick blanket. B. Leave it lying on the back seat. C. Lock it away securely out of sight. Or D. Put it in a bag on the front seat. And the correct answer is C. Lock it away securely out of sight. Now let's move on to our next scenario, which is scenario number 4. You have a short but an essential journey that you need to make. It's early in the morning and the roads are icy in places, so it's winter, it's a cold weather. It's very cold and also there is snow falling. Your tires are making almost no sound at all. On turning left, the back of your vehicle slides a little to the right. Further on, there is a slow-moving vehicle spreading salt on the road. What should you do in such weather conditions? A. Allow more time. B. Fill your fuel tank. C. Put down your sun visor. Or D. Reduce your tire pressure. And the correct answer is A. Allow more time for your travel. Question number 2. How should you brake under the conditions described? It's early morning, the roads are icy in places, it's cold, snow is also falling. So how should you brake under these conditions? A. Gently and quickly. B. Gently and slowly. C. Quickly and heavily. Or D. Slowly and heavily. And the correct answer is B. Gently and slowly. Question number 3. What does the lack of tire noise indicate? So you are on the icy road and your tires are making no noise whatsoever. A. The road could be icy. B. The road surface is worn. C. There could be grit. Or D. There is new tarmac. And the correct answer is A. The road could be icy. Question number 4. What should you do in the skid described? On turning left, if you remember the scenario, the back of your vehicle slides a little to the right. What should you do in the skid just described? A. Steer firmly to full left lock. B. Steer firmly to full right lock. C. Steer gently to the left. Or D. Steer gently to the right. And the correct answer is D. Steer gently to the right. Question number 5. What color beacon would this slow-moving vehicle have? So the slow-moving vehicle which is spreading salt. What will the color of the vehicle's beacon be? A. Amber. B. Blue. C. Green. Or D. White. And the correct answer is A. The color will be amber. And our next scenario is the following. You are waiting to turn right in the town center. Cars are parked along the roadside, obstructing your view. There are many shop windows. The area is busy with traffic and pedestrians as well. Further on, a vehicle is unloading on the left, and there are several oncoming cars. A police officer is directing traffic where the traffic lights have stopped working. He's facing you with one hand straight up, his palm showing. There is a bus lane, but no signs showing periods of operation or permitted use by other vehicles. Question number 1. How could the shop windows help you here? A. By letting you check for any good bargains, sales, or promotions. B. By letting you check that the vehicle's indicators are working. C. By showing reflections of any unseen vehicles approaching. Or D. By showing the number of cars parked on the main road. And the correct answer is C. By showing reflections of any unseen vehicles approaching. Question number 2. What hazard do the parked cars create? So you have cars which are parked alongside the roadside, obstructing your view. So what hazard do the parked cars create? A. Empty parking spaces may be available. B. Pedestrians or cyclists could be hidden from view. C. The road surface would be difficult to see. Or D. Traffic wardens may be working in the area. And the correct answer is B. Pedestrians and cyclists could be hidden from view. Question number 3. What should you do about the delivery vehicle? So the area is busy with traffic and pedestrians as well. And further on, as you drive, there is a vehicle unloading on the left, and you also have quite a few oncoming cars. What should you do about the delivery vehicle? A. Rev the engine and press the horn repeatedly. B. Speed up and quickly pass the vehicle. C. Stop and wait until the vehicle pulls away. Or D. Stop and wait until the way is clear ahead. And the correct answer is D. Stop and wait until the way is clear ahead. Question number 4. What must you do in response to the officer's signal? So a police officer is directing traffic where the traffic lights stopped working. He's facing you with one hand straight up, his palm showing. What do you need to do in response to the officer's signal? A. Drive carefully and slowly past the officer. B. Slow to a crawl while flashing the headlights. C. Stop and wait patiently until signaled to go on. Or D. Travel through the junction as quickly as possible. And the correct answer is C. Stop and wait patiently until you are signaled to go on. Question number 5. When can you use the bus lane? Remember, you are in the city, you are driving, there is also a bus lane, but there are no signs showing the periods of operation or if and when the lane can be used by other vehicles. So when can you use this bus lane? A. At any time. B. Between 11 p.m. and 7:30 a.m. C. During the rush hour. Or D. Not at any time. And the correct answer is D. Not at any time. Or HGVs. You need to score at least 85 out of the 100 questions to pass the test. So this video is really about lorry driving. If you are considering training to be a lorry driver, or if you are looking for a job, then you probably came across both LGV and HGV types of licenses in your overall search for a job. And the reason why I'm explaining this is because I've seen quite a few comments on other videos about some of you asking about LGVs, some of you asking about HGVs. So I really just wanted to clear this up before we start the test. So what I'm going to do now is just tell you if there is any kind of difference between LGV or HGV. Now, within the UK and also within Europe, there is actually absolutely no difference between LGV and HGV. LGV is just the short term for large goods vehicles, and HGV is short for heavy goods vehicle. So LGV, large goods vehicle, HGV, heavy goods vehicle, okay? Both licenses, they allow you to drive a vehicle which weighs over 3,500 kilograms or 3.5 tons, with different categories outlining the specific size and the type of lorry that you can drive. In 1992, all the licenses categories were changed, so that's probably why some of you know as LGV and some of you know as HGV. For example, the old HGV Class 1 is now officially known as LGV C plus E, and HGV Class 2 training is now known as LGV C. Now, of course, that a lot of people, they still refer to the old style of categorization. So the reason why I'm doing this now and explaining to you is so you don't get confused if any kind of these terms will come up when you are looking for jobs or even when you are looking to book your driving test. So now let's get started with our first question for today. You are scheduled to make a delivery. You arrive at your destination during the morning rush hour. The road is edged with double red lines. What do these lines mean? A. Delay your delivery until after the rush hour. B. Limit your stop to a maximum of 30 minutes. C. Unload only within a red box area. Or D. Unload only within a white box area. And the correct answer is D. Unload only within a white box area. White boxes allow you to unload at any time, but during the day, the length of stay is restricted. You should check nearby signs for the specific times. At other times, when it's not so busy, there may not be any restrictions in terms of parking. Next question. You are often involved in the carrying of high-value goods. What security measures can you adopt? A. Always discuss details of your load. B. Give lifts to anyone for added security. C. Keep your journeys to a strict routine. Or D. Vary your routes and rest stops. And the correct answer is D. Vary your routes and rest stops. When carrying high-value goods, you can become a target for thieves. Avoid developing a set routine or a set pattern. Vary your routes whenever possible to make it difficult for thieves to predict when and where your cargo can be intercepted. Next question. What is the final thing that you should do after you are recoupling a trailer? A. Connect the brake lines. B. Connect the electrical lines. C. Raise the trailer legs. Or D. Release the trailer parking brake. And the correct answer is D. Release the trailer parking brake. It's important to work methodically when you are uncoupling or when you are recoupling a tractor unit and trailer. After recoupling, check that all connections, systems, and lights are working correctly. Next question. Why are ropes unsuitable to tie down a load of scrap metal? A. Ropes are hard to tie. B. Ropes are hard to untie. C. Ropes can wear and snap. Or D. Ropes will loosen in the rain. And the correct answer is C. Ropes can wear and snap. When securing a load, the driver must use the most suitable type of restraint. Scrap metal is likely to have sharp edges that could wear through straps or ropes. Security of the load is your responsibility or the driver's responsibility. A load which has been correctly secured shouldn't move if an emergency arises. Question number 5. You are driving a leaden articulated lorry with a maximum authorized mass of 38 tons on a dual carriageway in England. What speed limit applies to your vehicle after passing this sign or the sign on your screens? A. 40 miles per hour. B. 50 miles per hour. C. 60 miles per hour. Or D. 70 miles per hour. And the correct answer is C. 60 miles per hour. 60 miles per hour may be the legal speed limit for a goods vehicle on a dual carriageway in England and Wales, but this doesn't mean that it's safe to drive at that speed. You should always take into account the road that you are driving on, the weather and the traffic conditions, and maintain safety margins. Next question. Which of these signs means that you cannot drive your lorry past this point? Sign A, sign B, sign C, or sign D? And the correct answer is sign B. No motor vehicles are allowed past this sign. Although a motorcycle and car are shown, the restriction applies to all motor vehicles. Next question. What could happen if you drive a double-deck lorry with the top deck loaded and the lower deck empty? A. The brakes will be less effective. B. The lorry may overturn when cornering. C. The lorry will become unstable under normal braking. Or D. You will need to change gear more often. And the correct answer is B. The lorry may overturn when cornering. If you are only carrying half a load on a double-deck lorry, this should be carried on the lower deck whenever possible. With only the top deck loaded, your lorry is top heavy and at risk of overturning as you drive around bends and corners. Next question. When must you notify phone companies that you are moving a high load? A. When the load's height exceeds 4 meters or 13 feet. B. When the load's height exceeds 4.30 meters or 14 feet 2 inches. C. When the load's height exceeds 5 meters or 16 feet 6 inches. Or D. When the load's height exceeds 5.25 meters or 17 feet and 6 inches. And the correct answer is D. When the load's height exceeds 5.25 meters or 17 feet and 6 inches. You should tell telephone companies about your intended route when you are planning the movement of loads over 5.25 meters or 17 feet 6 inches high. You should tell them in plenty of time before you make the journey. Next question. Before you start driving, which of the following should you complete on the center field of your tachograph chart? A. The details of the goods you are carrying. B. The amount of daily rest taken prior to starting the shift. C. The name and the address of your employer. Or D. The starting point of your day's journey. And the correct answer is D. The starting point of your day's journey. Before you start your journey, you must record a number of items on your tachograph chart. One of these is where your journey begins. Question number 10. You are on a motorway. Your lorry has a maximum authorized mass of more than 7.5 tons. What does this sign mean to you? The sign on your screens. A. You can only use the right-hand lane. B. You can use the middle or the right-hand lane. C. You can't leave the motorway at this junction. Or D. You must not use the right-hand lane. And the correct answer is D. You must not use the right-hand lane. At motorway roadworks, some lanes may be narrower than normal, and so large vehicles may not be allowed to use those lanes. Look for weight limit signs to check for any lanes that you cannot use. Therefore, move to the appropriate lane in good time. Next question. What is the principal braking system on a lorry called? A. The endurance brake. B. The jake brake. C. The parking brake. Or D. The service brake. And the correct answer is D. The service brake. The service brake is usually operated by the brake pedal. It's used to control the speed of the vehicle and to bring it to a halt safely. It may also incorporate an anti-lock braking system. Next question. When is a high-sided vehicle most affected by side wind? A. When the vehicle is being reversed. B. When it's stationary. C. When it's traveling empty. Or D. When it's traveling loaded. And the correct answer is C. When the vehicle is traveling empty. Take care if you are driving an empty high-sided vehicle when it's windy outside. Watch for places where the conditions could suddenly change, such as a gap between buildings or when you are passing under a bridge. Reduce your speed and stay alert for other road users who are also affected by these weather conditions. Next question. You are driving a lorry towards a high bridge on a windy day. What should you expect? A. Changed weight limits. B. Lane closures. C. Minimum speed limits. Or D. No restrictions for lorries. And the correct answer is B. Lane closures. In windy weather, exposed stretches of road may have lane closures or there may be diversions for some types of vehicles. Consider this when you are planning your journey because delays like this will add to your driving time. Next question. Which vehicle is most at risk in windy conditions? A. High-sided lorry. B. Saloon car. C. Single deck bus, or D. Tractor unit? And the correct answer is A. High-sided lorry. High-sided vehicles are severely affected by side wind because of the large surface area of the bodywork. The risk of loss of control is increased if the vehicle is unladen. Question number 15. During your working day, you change to another vehicle with the same type of tachograph. How should you keep your tachograph record up to date? A. Install a new chart in the other vehicle. B. Record your driving hours in a record book. C. Take the chart with you and use it in the other vehicle. Or D. Use the chart that's already in the other vehicle. And the correct answer is C. Take the chart with you and use it in the other vehicle. If you change vehicles during the day, you should take your chart with you and use it in your next vehicle. This, however, is not always possible as charts produced by different manufacturers may not be interchangeable. In this case, you should use another chart, making sure that all of the information for the day is recorded. Next question. You are driving an articulated lorry on a narrow road. There is a left-hand bend ahead. Why may you need to move out before driving around the bend? A. To leave more room for braking. B. To make room for the trailer cutting in. C. To make sure that oncoming drivers see you. Or D. To prevent anyone from overtaking. And the correct answer is B. To make room for the trailer cutting in. You should always be aware of the amount of room your trailer needs when you are going around the bends and corners. If you need to go onto the other side of the road, make sure that there is no oncoming traffic before you move out. Next question. Which of these vehicles will be most at risk of rollover when laden? Vehicle A, Vehicle B, Vehicle C, or Vehicle D? And the correct answer is Vehicle A. Rollover usually happens as a result of the inside rear wheels of an articulated vehicle starting to lift when the driver changes direction sharply. This tends to happen when a driver is changing direction to leave a roundabout. If the load moves during the change of direction, the vehicle is increasingly at risk of rolling over. The problem often involves vehicles carrying fluids in bulk, such as carrying petrol. Next question. What is prohibited when a red route is in operation? A. Changing lanes. B. Overtaking. C. Stopping or parking. Or D. Straddling the lines. And the correct answer is C. Stopping or parking. The hours of operation of red routes vary from one area to another. So, as a rule, you must not stop on a red route, but there may be special marked boxes where loading and unloading can be carried out at certain times. Look out for signs giving information about the restrictions in place. For example, the sign that you see at the bottom of your screen, where you see the red route, but it's also giving you specific instructions where you can't stop on any day between 7 a.m. and 7 p.m., except for loading for 20 minutes between 10 a.m. and 4 p.m. But of course, it will vary depending on the area, so please make sure that you always check the extra information. Next question. How frequently should the components of a fifth wheel coupling be inspected? A. Daily, B. Monthly, C. Weekly, or D. Yearly? And the correct answer is B. Monthly. A fifth wheel must be maintained properly. It requires regular lubrication and inspection. This should be carried out monthly or every 10,000 kilometers, whichever comes first. Question number 20. You are loading goods of varying weights. How should they be distributed over the width of the vehicle? A. Heavy items at the front and light items at the rear. B. Heavy items near the center line, light items towards the sides. C. Light items at the front, heavy items at the rear. Or D. Light items near the center line and heavy items towards the sides. And the correct answer is B. Heavy items near the center line and light items towards the sides. To achieve maximum stability, the load should be placed to keep the center of gravity as low as possible. To do this, heavy items should be placed close to the center line and spread over the full length of the vehicle. Lighter items should be placed along the sides. Question number 21. What could be the result of overloading an axle while loading a lorry? A. Damage to the road surface. B. Damage to the tachograph. C. Increased tire life. Or D. Reduced tire temperature. And the correct answer is A. Damage to the road surface. Overloading an axle has an impact on the environment, causing damage to road surfaces. You also risk a fine and driving penalties. Next question. Which load may need to be transported at a controlled temperature? A. Beer barrels. B. Bulk grain. C. Chemicals. Or D. Sugar. And the correct answer is C. Chemicals. Some highly dangerous chemicals have to be transported at prescribed temperature. Drivers must be fully trained in the use of these specially designed temperature-controlled vehicles. Next question. What should staff from AGEM Revenue and Customs or the HMRC be looking for at the roadside check? A. Driver's hours records. B. Exhaust emissions. C. Red diesel. Or D. Vehicle defects. And the correct answer is C. Red diesel. HMRC can check the type of fuel you are using and the type and legality of your load. Red diesel is dyed gas oil with a lower tax than regular diesel. It can only be used in agricultural and construction vehicles such as tractors. Red diesel must not be used in freight transport. Next question. You are uncoupling a trailer. What must you do before disconnecting any of the airlines? A. Apply the trailer parking brake. B. Disconnect the electrical line. C. Drain the air tanks. Or D. Lower the landing gear. And the correct answer is A. Apply the trailer parking brake. Whenever you uncouple a trailer, you must work through the uncoupling process methodically. Start by making sure that the brakes are applied on both the vehicle and the trailer. Question number 25. What can happen to drivers who break EU tachograph regulations? A. They can be given 3 warnings. B. They can be heavily fined. C. They can be let off if they are new to using tachographs. Or D. They can have their passport withdrawn. And the correct answer is B. They can be heavily fined. The driver must take responsibility and follow the driver's hours and the tachograph rules. Failure to do so can result in legal action and penalties, such as a fine. Next question. What must you do when you are using a vehicle fitted with an analog tachograph? A. Carry enough approved charts. B. Reuse charts twice. C. Use the damaged charts if they are clean. Or D. Use dirty charts if they are undamaged. And the correct answer is A. Carry enough approved charts. Make sure that you carry enough approved tachograph charts for your journey. Store your spare charts in a plastic wallet to keep them clean and undamaged. Next question. Under EU rules, your minimum daily rest is 11 hours. On 3 days of the week, this may be reduced to what length of time? A. 10 hours. B. 7 hours. C. 8 hours. Or D. 9 hours. And the correct answer is D. 9 hours. Under EU rules, you must have a minimum daily rest of 11 consecutive hours. A reduced daily rest period is any period of rest of at least 9 hours, but less than 11 hours. Next question. You are approaching a bridge which has no height restriction on it. What's the minimum height under the bridge? A. 3.6 meters or 11 feet and 10 inches. B. 4.4 meters or 14 feet 5 inches. C. 4.8 meters or 16 feet. Or D. 5 meters or 16 feet and 6 inches. And the correct answer is D. 5 meters or 16 feet and 6 inches. The headroom under bridges in the UK is at least 5 meters or 16 feet and 6 inches unless otherwise stated. Where the overhead clearance is arched, this headroom is normally only between the limits marked. So unless you see a bridge which has no signs on it, most of the bridges will have a height limit sign. So please make sure that you pay attention to those. Next question. You arrive at an incident involving a motorcyclist. The motorcyclist is unconscious and bleeding. What should be your priority? A. Check the casualty's airway. B. Make a list of witnesses. C. Sweep up any loose debris. Or D. Take the numbers of the vehicles involved. And the correct answer is A. Check the casualty's airway. At a traffic incident, the danger of further collisions and fire needs to be dealt with first. Then you should deal with injuries in this order: airway, breathing, compressions, and bleeding. Don't remove a motorcyclist's helmet unless it's essential to do so. Removing that helmet might actually cause further injury to the motorcyclist. Question number 30. You have stopped at the scene of an incident where there are casualties. What should you do to help? A. Clear debris from the road. B. Give injured people a warm drink. C. Keep injured people on the move by walking them around. Or D. Keep injured people warm and comfortable. And the correct answer is D. Keep injured people warm and comfortable. You stop to give help at an incident and there are casualties. Don't move injured people unless there is further danger. Keep them warm, comfortable, and calm. Don't give them anything to drink. Next question. What should you do if you are the first person to arrive at the scene of an incident? A. Ask everyone who is not injured to leave the scene. B. Offer a calming cigarette to those involved. C. Take photographs of the scene. Or D. Warn other traffic to prevent further collisions. And the correct answer is D. Warn other traffic to prevent further collisions. Warn other traffic of the incident without putting yourself or others at risk. Once the danger of further collisions is dealt with, call the emergency services. And while you are waiting for the emergency services to arrive, keeping casualties or witnesses calm is important, but never offer a cigarette because of the risk of fire. Next question. You arrive at the scene of an incident where a motorcyclist is lying in the middle of the road and the motorcyclist is unconscious. What is the first thing that you should do? A. Clear the road of debris. B. Give the rider reassurance. C. Move the rider out of the road. Or D. Warn other traffic. And the correct answer is D. Warn other traffic. At the scene of an incident, the first priority is to prevent any further collisions by warning the traffic. You can warn other traffic by switching on your hazard warning lights or displaying an advanced warning triangle or by any other appropriate means. Next question. Your steering suddenly becomes heavy to turn. What could make this happen? A. A fault with the power-assisted steering. B. A faulty parking brake. C. A loss of air brake pressure. Or D. An uneven road surface. And the correct answer is A. A fault with the power-assisted steering. If the steering becomes heavy, the power-assisted steering may have failed. It's also possible that your vehicle has a puncture or the load might have shifted. You should stop safely, investigate the cause, and call for help if necessary. Next question. How can you help to reduce the impact of road transport on the environment? A. By avoiding high gears. B. By braking in good time. C. By increasing your overall speed. Or D. By reducing rest periods. And the correct answer is B. By braking in good time. Good forward planning will reduce fuel consumption and engine emissions. This will cause less wear on the vehicle and the tires, as well as reducing environmental pollution. Question number 35. What should you do to prevent fuel spillage? A. Close and secure the filler cap. B. Place the drip tray correctly. C. Stop refueling when the tank is half full. Or D. Use a filtered fuel system. And the correct answer is A. Close and secure the filler cap. Fuel spilled on the road is a serious danger to other road users, especially to motorcyclists. To prevent this from happening, make sure that the filler cap is secure after refueling. Next question. At a junction, you see this sign, which is on your screens, partly covered by snow. What does the sign mean? A. Crossroads. B. Give way. C. Stop. Or D. Turn right. And the correct answer is C. Stop. The stop sign is the only sign in the shape of a hexagon. This helps you to recognize the sign even when the wording on it can't be seen. Next question. What should you do if you see this sign when you are about to overtake? So please refer to the sign on your screens right now. A. Hold back until you can see clearly ahead. B. Move to the right to get a better view. C. Overtake the other driver as quickly as possible. Or D. Switch your headlights on before you overtake. And the correct answer is A. Hold back until you can see clearly ahead. You won't be able to see any hazards that might be out of sight in the dip. As well as oncoming traffic, there may be cyclists, horse riders, parked vehicles, or pedestrians hidden from view. Only start to overtake when you can see that the road ahead is clear, giving you enough time to overtake safely. Next question. You are at an incident. Why may it be harmful to move a casualty? A. You could be accused of assault. B. You could cause more injury. C. You could damage your back. Or D. You could get blood on your hands. And the correct answer is B. You could cause more injury. Be especially careful about moving casualties at the scene of an incident. Inexperienced handling of a casualty could cause even more injury or could even prove to be fatal. Only move casualties if they are in danger, for example, from fire. Next question. What does this sign mean? So, as usual, please refer to the sign on your screens. A. No stopping at any time. B. No stopping at peak times. C. Stop only to pick up passengers. Or D, stop only to set down passengers. And the correct answer is A, no stopping at any time. This traffic sign means no stopping on the main carriageway at any time, not even to set down passengers. However, you may stop in a lay-by. Question number 40. Which of these signs shows an uphill gradient? Sign A, sign B, sign C, or sign D? So uphill gradient. And the correct answer is sign C. You will need to identify the sign in good time so that you can select an appropriate gear. Next question. Which of these signs means uneven road? Sign A, sign B, sign C, or sign D? And the correct answer is sign B. Some signs can look similar to others, but each one has a different meaning. For example, this sign looks a little like the sign for a hump bridge. Learn the meaning of every sign to prepare yourself for how to react to them. Next question. Which fuel provides a reduction in exhaust emissions harmful to human health? A, blue diesel, B, high sulfur diesel, C, low sulfur diesel, or D, red diesel? And the correct answer is C, low sulfur diesel. Low sulfur diesel reduces the levels of sulfur dioxide particles in exhaust emissions. It's widely available and makes a contribution to reducing emissions which are harmful to human health. Next question. What should you do if you lose your way in heavy traffic? A, check a map as you keep moving with the traffic. B, drive on until you find a safe place to stop. C, shout to other drivers to ask them the way. Or D, stop at traffic lights and ask pedestrians. And the correct answer is B, drive on until you find a safe place to stop. Driving in heavy traffic needs 100% of your concentration. If you become lost, please find a safe place to stop before you check a map or before you ask for directions. Don't risk losing concentration by glancing at a map while you are driving, even if you are in traffic that keeps stopping. Next question. You notice that one of your tires has a bulge in the side wall. What will happen if you drive the vehicle? A, the vehicle will become unstable on corners. B, you will break the law and risk prosecution. C, your speedometer will give an incorrect reading. Or D, your tachograph reading won't be accurate. And the correct answer is B. You will break the law and you will risk prosecution. It is a legal requirement that your tires have at least the minimum permitted depth of tread and are in good condition before you start any journey. Make sure that you check them before you set off and you check them at regular intervals. Question number 45. Your vehicle is more than 3 meters or 9 feet and 10 inches high. Where is this information displayed? A. In the driver's cab. B. In the engine bay. C. On the weight plate. Or D. On the windscreen. And the correct answer is A. In the driver's cab. It is a legal requirement that information about a vehicle's height can be seen by the driver from their seat. It's important to know the height of your vehicle so that you can avoid any height restrictions on your route. Next question. What will cause your fuel consumption to increase? A. Continuous use of air conditioning. B. Continuous use of the air suspension. C. Continuous use of the electrical retarder. Or D. Continuous use of the mirrors. And the correct answer is A. Continuous use of the air conditioning. Use your air conditioning only when it's absolutely necessary. Running it continuously increases overall fuel consumption by up to 15%. Next question. How can vehicle breakdowns be reduced? A. By avoiding bad weather. B. By driving slowly. C. By regular cleaning. Or D. By regular servicing. And the correct answer is D. By regular servicing. Following the vehicle manufacturer's guidelines for service intervals will enable worn components to be replaced before they fail. This will help prevent costly breakdowns. Next question. What could happen if you overfill your engine with oil? A. Exhaust emissions could be reduced. B. Some gaskets might be damaged. C. The handling may improve. Or D. You could wait longer before the next service. And the correct answer is B. Some gaskets might be damaged. If you overfill the engine with oil, you could cause the engine to build up too much pressure when it's running. This could cause damage to oil seals and gaskets. Next question. Your engine catches fire. What should you do before you attempt to put the fire out? A. Drive to the nearest fire station. B. Empty the air tanks. C. Open the engine housing wide. Or D. Shut off the fuel supply. And the correct answer is D. Shut off the fuel supply. An engine fire is serious. If the fire breaches the fuel lines, it can easily spread to the fuel tank. If that happens, both the vehicle and the cargo will probably be lost. Therefore, your priority is to shut off the fuel supply. Question number 50. When should you consider the effect of a speed limiter will have on your vehicle? A. When you are braking. B. When you change gears. C. When you are overtaking. Or D. When you are reversing. And the correct answer is C. When you overtake. Plan well ahead before you overtake. Be aware that a speed limiter may cause you difficulties when you are trying to overtake another vehicle, particularly when climbing a hill. Next question. You are driving a large vehicle in gusty conditions. Which vehicle is most likely to be affected by buffeting when you overtake it? A. A car. B. A flatbed lorry. C. A loaded tanker. Or D. A motorcycle. And the correct answer is D. A motorcycle. The lighter the vehicle, the more likely it is to be affected by the buffeting from your vehicle in windy weather. Give motorcyclists and cyclists extra room when you overtake them, as your vehicle's drought can easily upset their control and balance. Next question. What should anti-lock brakes let you do when you have to stop in an emergency? A. Brake more gently. B. Brake much later. C. Maintain steering control. Or D. Stop over a long distance. And the correct answer is C. Maintain steering control. Anti-lock brakes, or ABS, are a driver's aid and can help you maintain steering control whilst you are braking. However, you must not rely on them to get you out of trouble or expect to be able to make sudden direction changes if you are going too fast. Next question. You approach a pelican crossing which goes straight across the road. How must you treat the pelican crossing if it has a central island? A. As one continuous crossing. B. As one crossing in daylight only. C. As two crossings during darkness. Or D. As two separate crossings. And the correct answer is A. As one continuous crossing. A pelican crossing which goes straight across the road must be treated as one continuous crossing even if it has a central island. The lights controlling the crossing show to both directions of traffic. You must give way to pedestrians who are still crossing when the amber light is flashing. Next question. What must you check before you set out on a journey? A. That your mirrors are clean. B. That your mirrors are concave. C. That your mirrors are convex. Or D. That your mirrors are tinted. And the correct answer is A. That your mirrors are clean. It's important to know what's happening behind as well as ahead. Your mirrors must always be clean and properly adjusted. Question number 55. What should you do if you feel tired while you are driving on a motorway? A. Carry on but drive slowly. B. Leave the motorway at the next exit. C. Stop on the hard shoulder for a rest. Or D. Try to complete your journey more quickly. And the correct answer is B. Leave the motorway at the next exit. Don't continue to drive if you feel the onset of tiredness. Find a safe place to stop and rest. Walking around in fresh air during your break will help, but it's not a substitute for adequate rest. Next question. What problem may you have when you are driving at night? A. It takes longer to stop. B. It's more difficult to keep to the speed limits. C. There will be an increase in traffic. Or D. You will have reduced visibility. And the correct answer is D. you will have reduced visibility. You must be able to stop safely in the distance that you can see to be clear ahead. This will be the distance illuminated by your headlights or by street lights and will generally be less than you can see in the daylight. Next question. You are in the left-hand lane on a 3-lane motorway. Why should you check for any vehicles in the right-hand lane before you decide to overtake? A. They may accelerate briskly in front of you. B. They may be moving faster than you. C. They may cut in sharply behind you. Or D. They may move back in the middle lane as you move out. And the correct answer is D. They may move back to the middle lane as you move out of the lane. Vehicles overtaking in the right-hand lane may return to the center lane when they finished their maneuver. You should look for this before starting to pull out. Don't rely on the size of your vehicle to claim right of way. Next question. Why should you check for motorcyclists just before you turn right into a side road? A. They might be emerging from the side road. B. They might be following you closely. C. They might be overtaking on your left. Or D. They might be overtaking on your right. And the correct answer is D. They might be overtaking on your right. Never attempt to change direction to the right without first checking your right-hand mirror. A motorcyclist might not have seen your signal and could have decided to overtake. This action should be a matter of routine. Next question. What happens at two-cone crossings? A. Cyclists are not permitted. B. Pedestrians and cyclists may cross. C. There is a continuously flashing amber beacon. Or D. You only stop when a pedestrian is waiting. And the correct answer is B. Pedestrians and cyclists may cross on the crossing. Two-cone crossings can be used by cyclists and by pedestrians. Some cycle routes lead cyclists to these crossings. Always look out for cyclists as they are likely to be approaching much faster than pedestrians. Question number 60. What action would you take when elderly people are crossing the road? A. Be patient and allow them to cross in their own time. B. Rev the engine to let them know that you are waiting. C. Tap the horn in case they are hard of hearing. Or D. Wave them across so that they know that you've seen them. And the correct answer is A. Be patient and allow them to cross in their own time. Don't hurry elderly people across the road by getting too close to them or by revving the engine. Be aware that they might take longer to cross. They might also have hearing difficulties and they maybe wouldn't hear you approaching. Next question. You are approaching this roundabout and you see the cyclist signaling right. Why is the cyclist keeping to the left? Please check the image on your screens. And let's have a look at the options. A. It's a quicker route. B. The highway code doesn't apply to cyclists. C. They may use the left-hand lane to turn right. Or D. They are going to turn left instead. And the correct answer is C. They may use the left-hand lane to turn right. Cyclists in today's heavy traffic can be hazardous. Some cyclists might not feel happy about crossing the path of traffic to take up a position in an outside lane. So please be aware of this and understand that even though they are in the left-hand lane, the cyclist might actually be turning right. Next question. Why must these road markings be kept clear? Please refer to the photo or picture on your screens. So, why must the markings be kept clear? A. To allow an unobstructed view of the area. B. To allow school children to be dropped off. C. To allow school children to be picked up. Or D. To allow teachers to park. And the correct answer is A. To allow an unobstructed view of the area. Keeping the markings clear ensures that drivers and riders passing and children crossing have a clear, unrestricted view of each other. Next question. You are on a country road. What should you expect to see coming towards you on your side of the road? A. Bicycles. B. Horse riders. C. Motorcycles. Or D. Pedestrians. And the correct answer is D. Pedestrians. On a quiet country road, always be aware that there may be a hazard just around the next bend, such as a slow-moving vehicle or pedestrians. There might not be a pavement and people may be walking on your side of the road. Next question. A horse rider is in the left-hand lane approaching a roundabout. What should you expect the rider to do? A. Go ahead. B. Go in any direction. C. Turn left. Or D. Turn right. And the correct answer is B. Go in any direction. Horses and their riders will move more slowly than other road users. They might not have time to cut across heavy traffic to take up a position in the offside lane when they are turning right. It could also be hazardous for them to do that. Therefore, a horse and the rider may approach a roundabout in the left-hand lane even though they are in fact turning right. Question number 65. You are driving through a tunnel. What should you do if your vehicle breaks down? A. Rely on CCTV cameras seeing you. B. Remain in your vehicle. C. Switch on hazard warning lights. Or D. Wait for the police to find you. And the correct answer is C. Switch on your hazard warning lights. If your vehicle breaks down in a tunnel, it could present a danger to other traffic. So first, switch on your hazard warning lights. If there are passengers in your vehicle, take them to the nearest exit point. You should then call for help from an emergency telephone. Don't rely on being found by the police or on being seen by a CCTV camera. The longer a vehicle stays in an exposed position, the more danger it poses to other traffic. Next question. What should you do if a front tire bursts while you are driving on a motorway? A. Brake firmly to a stop. B. Drive to the next service area. C. Hold the steering wheel firmly. Or D. Loosen your grip on the steering wheel. And the correct answer is C. Hold the steering wheel firmly. A front tire bursting will seriously reduce your control of the vehicle. So please keep calm and resist the temptation to brake hard or to swerve. Hold the steering wheel firmly and try to get the vehicle onto the hard shoulder while allowing it to slow down gradually. Stop as far to the left as you possibly can and switch on your hazard warning lights. Next question. You are following a motorcyclist along a potholed road. How should you adjust your driving to take account of this situation? A. Drive alongside them. B. Give them extra room. C. Stay close behind them. Or D. Try to pass them. And the correct answer is B. Give them extra room. Good forward planning can help you keep other road users out of trouble. Information to help you do this is available if you look for it. Watch for clues. For example, a motorcyclist taking a lifesaver look over their shoulder could be about to change direction. Next question. What should you do when you are following a scooter on a poor road surface? A. Overtake without any delay. B. Sound your horn as you get close. C. Stay close behind until you can pass. Or D. Stay well back and allow them room. And the correct answer is D. Stay well back and allow them room. On a poor road surface, the rider may need to move out to avoid potholes. You may not get much warning. A look to the right or a lifesaver check may warn you that they are about to move out. Stay well back and allow the rider plenty of room until you can pass safely. Next question. Under EU rules, you can drive for a maximum of 9 hours a day. On how many days each week can this be extended to 10 hours? A. 4 days. B. 1 day. C. 3 days. Or D. 2 days. And the correct answer is D. 2 days. Under EU rules, your normal daily driving time must not exceed 9 hours. This 9-hour period is defined as the time between any two daily rest periods or a daily rest period and a weekly rest period. You are allowed to extend these hours to 10 hours twice a week. Question number 70. How much longer will your stopping distance be in snow than in dry weather? A. 5 times as long. B. 4 times as long. C. 10 times as long. Or D. Twice as long. And the correct answer is C. 10 times as long. In icy or in snowy weather, your stopping distance can increase by up to 10 times. Because snowy weather increases the distance needed to stop, you must look further ahead and leave an increased safety margin. Next question. What do you need to be aware of when you are driving a vehicle fitted with power-assisted steering? A. It causes less tire wear. B. It makes it easier for you to steer. C. It only works at high speeds. Or D. It prevents you from oversteering. And the correct answer is B. It makes it easier for you to steer. Power-assisted steering operates when the engine is running. If a fault develops, much greater effort is required to turn the steering wheel. Don't attempt to drive a vehicle if you are aware of a fault in the power steering system. Next question. What is most likely to cause a burst tire? A. Always operating in cool weather. B. Frequent gear changing in varying conditions. C. Mixing tires with different tread depth. Or D. Running tires underinflated. And the correct answer is D. Running tires underinflated. Next question. What is the most likely cause if your steering starts to feel heavy? A. A burst rear tire. B. A wet road. C. An icy road. Or D. Faulty power steering. And the correct answer is D. Faulty power steering. Modern large vehicles are fitted with power-assisted steering. If the steering, however, feels heavy, there is likely to be a fault, which should be investigated and repaired as soon as possible. Next question. At toucan crossings, pedestrians share the crossing with which other road users? A. Cyclists. B. Horse riders. C. Motorcyclists. Or D. Trams. And the correct answer is A. Cyclists. A toucan crossing is signal controlled, but unlike a pelican crossing, it doesn't have a flashing amber light in the sequence. Cyclists and pedestrians, they cross together, and cyclists are allowed to ride their bicycles over the crossing. Question number 75. What should the hard shoulder on a motorway be used for? A. As a safe place to stop for a short rest when you are tired. B. As a place to stop to answer a mobile phone. C. As a place to stop to check a road atlas. Or D. As a place to stop when an emergency arises. And the correct answer is D. As a place to stop when an emergency arises. When an emergency arises, pull onto the hard shoulder and use the emergency phone to report your problem. You will be connected to an operator who will put you through to a breakdown service. Never cross the carriageway or a slip road to use a phone. Next question. You are driving in wet conditions. What should you try to do before braking? A. Make sure that all spray suppression equipment is working. B. Make sure that the gear lever is in neutral. C. Make sure that there is no mist on your rear view mirrors. Or D. Make sure that your vehicle is traveling in a straight line. And the correct answer is D. Make sure that your vehicle is traveling in a straight line. If you need to brake when the road surface is wet, do so while your vehicle is traveling in a straight line. This will reduce the risk of skidding. As a professional driver, you should routinely brake in good time so that you don't brake and change direction at the same time. Next question. You are driving on a road with an uneven surface. What should you do if you are following a motorcyclist along this road? A. Allow extra room in case the rider swerves to avoid potholes. B. Drive close behind and get ready to overtake. C. Drive closely to shield the rider. Or D. Leave less room so the rider can see you in their mirrors. And the correct answer is A. Allow extra room in case the rider swerves to avoid potholes. Never follow any road user too closely. This is particularly important when you are following scooter or motorcycle riders or cyclists. They might brake or they might swerve suddenly, for example, to avoid a pothole on a road with a poor surface. Next question. What should you do if a car driver makes a mistake which causes you to brake? A. Drive close behind and sound your horn. B. Flag the driver down and explain the mistake. C. Keep calm and don't retaliate. Or D. Overtake and sound your horn. And the correct answer is C. Keep calm and don't retaliate. Sometimes other road users will disobey the rules or they will make errors of judgment. Try to accept this calmly and learn from their mistakes. Next question. What should you do if another driver does something which upsets you? A. Flash your headlights several times. B. Let them know how you feel. C. Sound your horn. Or D. Stay calm and don't retaliate. And the correct answer is D. Stay calm and don't retaliate. Sometimes other drivers or riders, they make a mistake. If this happens, try not to let this worry you. Don't react by sounding the horn, by flashing your headlights, or by shouting at the other driver. It will not help the situation. A professional driver will remain calm and stay focused on their driving. Question number 80. At an incident, a casualty has stopped breathing. What should you do to help them? A. Raise their legs to help with circulation. B. Remove any obstruction from their mouth. C. Tilt their head as far forward as possible. D. Try to give them something to drink. And the correct answer is B. Remove any obstruction from their mouth. To help a casualty who is not breathing, you should remove any obstructions from their mouth and tilt their head back slightly. These actions will help to keep their airway clear and maintain the correct position if mouth-to-mouth resuscitation is required. Next question. The Driver and Vehicle Standards Agency, or the DVSA, and the police carry out spot checks for faulty vehicles. What will happen to the vehicle if serious defects are found? A. It will be impounded until a new driver is found. B. It will be ordered back to the depot to unload goods or passengers. C. It will be prohibited from further use until the defects are rectified. Or D. It will be restricted to 30 miles per hour for the remainder of the journey. And the correct answer is C. It will be prohibited from further use until the defects are rectified. DVSA or the police can order an immediate prohibition. The vehicle may be immobilized and you won't be able to drive it until the faults have been rectified. Details are notified to the traffic commissioner. Never use a vehicle which you know is faulty. Next question. Bus and lorry tires have codes on their side walls. What do these codes refer to? A. Minimum temperature. B. Running pressure. C. Speed capability. Or D. Tread depth. And the correct answer is C. Speed capability. Codes are shown on the wall of the tire. These refer to the maximum load and speed capability of the tire. Next question. You have parked on the roadside. What must you do before you leave the vehicle? A. Remove your personal items. B. Reset the retarder. C. Stop the engine. Or D. Switch off the tachograph. And the correct answer is C. Stop the engine. Before leaving your vehicle parked, you must stop the engine. The parking brake must be set and the vehicle should be safe and secure when you leave the cab. Next question. You are turning right onto a dual carriageway from a side road. What should you do if your vehicle is too long for the gap in the central reservation? A. Edge out slowly so that other traffic will see you. B. Move forward and wait in the middle. C. Move out, blocking traffic from the right. Or D. Wait until it's clear in both directions. And the correct answer is D. Wait until it's clear in both directions. When you are turning right onto a dual carriageway, don't stop in the gap in the central reservation unless your vehicle will fit in the gap without any overhang. When it's busy, consider turning left and using a roundabout further up the road so you don't have to cross the central reservation. Question number 85. Which of these is the main cause of collisions involving motorcycles? A. Icy roads. B. Other drivers. C. Other motorcyclists. Or D. Wet roads. And the correct answer is B. Other drivers. The main reason why there are so many collisions at junctions is that drivers fail to see motorcyclists. A bright jacket or a single headlight may help you identify an approaching motorcyclist, but you should be aware that not all motorcyclists wear bright clothing or use their headlights during the day. Next question. You are found to be 2.5 times over the legal drink-drive limit and you are disqualified from driving. Before you regain your license, who will you have to satisfy that you don't have an alcohol problem? A. Alcoholics Anonymous. B. The Driver and Vehicle Licensing Agency. C. The Driver and Vehicle Standards Agency. Or D. The local hospital. And the correct answer is B. The Driver and Vehicle Licensing Agency. If you are disqualified from driving because you were 2.5 times over the legal limit, you will be classified as a high-risk offender. Before you can regain your license, you will have to satisfy the Driver and Vehicle Licensing Agency or the DVLA that you do not have an alcohol problem. Next question. What do yellow zigzag lines on the road outside the school mean? A. Sound your horn to alert other road users. B. Stop to allow children to cross. C. You must not drive over these lines. Or D. You must not wait or park on these lines. And the correct answer is D. You must not wait or park on these lines. Parking on the yellow zigzag lines will block the view of the school entrance. This will endanger the lives of children wanting to cross the road on their way to and from school. Next question. What does this sign mean? A. Double hump bridge. B. Road humps. C. Rumble strips. Or D. Uneven road. And the correct answer is D. Uneven road. Slow down when you see a warning sign for an uneven road. Be especially careful if you are carrying passengers, livestock, or fragile items. Next question. You are reversing your vehicle. What should you do while the audible warning device is operating? A. Be cautious and keep looking all around. B. Concentrate solely on your blind areas. C. Expect others to be aware of your course. Or D. Rely on a clear path behind. And the correct answer is A. Be cautious and keep looking all around. Don't rely on an audible warning device to claim right of way. It's your responsibility to be cautious and take all-around observation while you are reversing. Question number 90. Where can you get help to plan your route before you start a journey? A. A motoring organization. B. The driver and vehicle licensing agency. C. Your local filling station. Or D. Your vehicle manufacturer. And the correct answer is A. A motoring organization. Most motoring organization websites allow you to create a detailed plan of your trip showing directions and distances. Some of them also include advice on rest and fuel stops. The Traffic England website will give you information on roadworks and incidents along with expected delay times. Next question. What would be the most likely effect of driving with the ref counter in the red band? A. You would create a false tachograph reading. B. You would damage the engine. C. You would have optimum fuel economy. Or D. You would improve engine efficiency. And the correct answer is B. You would damage the engine. Driving with the rev counter in the red band will cause the engine to wear prematurely and can lead to expensive repairs. This could result in the vehicle being off the road for some time. Next question. What should you do to help your concentration when you have to drive through the night? A. Eat a big meal in the middle of your shift. B. Eat a meal at the beginning of your shift. C. Eat lots of snacks while you are driving. Or D. Eat nothing during your period of work. And the correct answer is B. Eat a meal at the beginning of your shift. Concentration will be improved by eating regular light meals timed to fit in with your scheduled rest periods. If you don't eat at all, your blood sugar levels will drop and you will feel tired. If you just eat snack foods, most of which are sugary or high in fat, your energy levels will peak and then drop, and eating while you are driving is a dangerous distraction. Next question. Under EU driver's hours regulations, a 45-minute break must be taken after 4.5 hours of driving. What shorter breaks can this be split onto? A. One break of 10 minutes plus one break of 35 minutes. B. One break of 15 minutes, then another of 30 minutes. C. One break of 20 minutes plus another break of 25 minutes. Or D. One break of 40 minutes plus one break of 5 minutes. And the correct answer is B. One break of 15 minutes plus one break of 30 minutes. Under EU regulations, you must take a break of at least 45 minutes after 4.5 hours of driving. You may choose to take this break during the driving period. In this case, it can be split into two breaks of at least 15 and 30 minutes taken in that order. Next question. What is the first thing that you should try to do if your vehicle catches fire whilst you are driving through a tunnel? A. Drive out of the tunnel. B. Stop and leave the vehicle immediately. C. Stop and put out the fire. Or D. Stop at the side of the tunnel. And the correct answer is A. Drive out of the tunnel. If your vehicle catches fire in a tunnel, you should first try to drive the vehicle out, but only if you can do that safely. Next question. Question number 95. What helps you to become an eco-safe driver? A. Accelerating rapidly. B. Avoiding block changing. C. Being aware of hazards. Or D. Using air conditioning. And the correct answer is C. Being aware of hazards. Driving in an eco-safe manner means that you plan well ahead for hazards and you react in good time. This can save fuel and is therefore good for the environment. Next question. Where can the axle weight limits be found? A. On the operator's license. B. On the vehicle plate. C. On the weighbridge printout. Or D. On the wheel rims. And the correct answer is B. On the vehicle plate. Individual axle weights are shown on the vehicle plate. This can be found in a prominent place on both the vehicle and the trailer. Next question. Who is responsible for the issue of tachograph charts to a bus or a lorry driver? A. The Driver and Vehicle Standards Agency. B. The Authorized Calibration Center. C. The driver's employer. Or D. The local MOT testing center. And the correct answer is C. The driver's employer. The driver's employer is responsible for the issue of tachograph charts. The driver must ensure that the correct information is recorded on the chart. Next question. You are at the scene of a collision. People sadly are injured. What should be done when the risk of further collisions has been dealt with? A. Clear a parking area for the emergency services. B. Get the casualties to drink something sweet. C. Make sure the emergency services have been called. Or D. Pull people who are hurt out of their vehicles. And the correct answer is C. Make sure that the emergency services have been called. Make sure that you or someone else has called the emergency services. Check the casualties, and if you feel able to give first aid, you can do so. Alternatively, ask any bystanders if they can help. Next question. What does this sign mean? A. Fuel and water tanks will leak. B. Only cars may park here. C. Parking restrictions apply. Or D. Soft verges. And the correct answer is D. Soft verges. This sign tells you that the verge is soft. If you park here, there is a danger that your vehicle will become stuck. This can be inconvenient and could also be costly if you need to be pulled out. In extreme cases, your vehicle may even tip over. Question number 100 and our last question for today. How often must an analog tachograph be checked at an approved calibration center? A. Every 5 years. B. Every 6 years. C. Every 2 years. Or D. Every year. And the correct answer is C. Every 2 years. An analog tachograph must be checked every 2 years and recalibrated and sealed every 6 years. This must be done at an approved calibration center. Digital tachographs, unlike the analog tachographs, must be recalibrated every 2 years. Thank you so much for staying with me today. I hope you learned something new and I hope this video was helpful. Please don't forget to make sure that you like, subscribe, share, and also don't forget to keep those notification bells on so you are the first one to know of any new videos I upload. For now, take care, stay safe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!